10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Rocky, guess what day it is? Come on! I know you can hear me. Jeanette! Guess what day it is, Jeanette? Uh-oh, Augie, guess what day it is? It's Gold Fever Radio Day!
Yahoo! It's Gold Fever Radio Day. Yahoo! I don't know if you guys noticed it, but that was a little different opening than what's normally. But hey, welcome everybody. It is Wednesday. What is today? Wednesday. Where's my notes at? I got some notes here. August 24th. Is that what day it is? That pen don't work. Stupid pen. Get rid of that pen. August 24th. Well, if you guys living out here, you know we got a lot of rain. We've been hammered with rain. I got a bunch of puddles out there in the driveway and in the yard. So if I get any more rain out here, it says I got rain coming. If I get another bad one like it was last night, I'm in serious doo-doo. I'll be breaking that canoe, and I have to go get my mail. I have to canoe out to get my mail. Let's see. Patty's Adventures, welcome. First one into the chat room. Look at that. Herb, welcome, Herb. Just been, hey, Jay, I was going to call you the other day. I haven't heard from you, just checking on you, make sure you're still upright, all that type of good stuff, buddy. Good to see you're there. Daniel, hello, Daniel Grubb. Let's see, Daryl, welcome, Daryl. David and Terry, welcome, guys. You guys are starting to come in. Let's go over a couple things real quick here. What's going on here? Thought somebody was under my desk there for a moment. Let's see. This day in history. Did you know the waffle iron was patented in 1869? Now, they were used earlier, 1300s, but this guy, Cornelius Stewart or Hart or whatever, he just improved it and patented it. In 1814, the Capitol and the White House are burned in the War of 1812. You think history's going to repeat itself? I don't know, man. Let's see. 1992, the Hurricane Andrew hits Miami. Wow, all that on this day in history. Did you know that today is National Peach Pie Day? Wow, that sounds pretty good. And what a coincidence, National Waffle Day. But guess what tomorrow is? Tomorrow is National Banana Split Day. Man, I think we should have some banana splits lined up for tomorrow. Let's see. You guys know that the wheel has started. I think there's only a couple spots left. I'm not sure what's left in those spots. $33 a spot. 928-851-7167. Get in on that there. We got the pontoon. Yeah, see, I got pontoons on the mind. I got dredging on the mind here, I guess. Pontoons on the mind. Patreon outing, November 11th, 12th, and 13th. That's going to be up in the Meadview area, metal detecting, gold hunt. I'll bring up all my metal detectors, dry wash, all that. That's a free event to Patreon and channel supporters. So you guys are welcome to come up and participate in that. And then, of course, our New Year's extravaganzas, December 28th through 1/1. That's when we have a fun time come the New Year's celebration, New Year's event. I forgot what the price was. I don't know. I think it was $200 or something like that. That includes all your meals, the entertainment, do a DJ, karaoke, they smoke a pig. Anyways, if you're interested in signing up on that, again, 928-851-7167. That's all I have in the kitty on my agenda. Let's see. I got a beep on my phone. Let me just see what that beep was. Make sure it was let's see. Maybe there's no more spots left. Maybe that was that there. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see. Donkey Engine. Okay. Josh Cooper, welcome Josh. Wayne, welcome Wayne. I haven't heard from Wayne Peterson, old nugget brain himself. Randy, hello Randy. Glad to see you're still around. Shannon E. Hello. Okay, so we got a guest tonight. You guys probably don't know who this guest is. You probably never heard of him. But in case you haven't, I'm going to bring him on in right now. And we're going to talk some gold prospecting. You guys like gold? I know you all like gold, don't you? Hello, Mr. Allen. Look at that. Allen Trees.
Hey,
right
Jack,
there.
how you doing? You notice I'm still upright, buddy.
You look like you're reclining in an easy chair right there.
Hey, I just got out of 12 feet of water after 4 hours and pumping gold. And so I'm just kind of trying to relax here a little bit.
You look like you're relaxing good.
Yep, I'm looking forward. I sure enjoying this retirement. I tell you what.
Yeah, so those that don't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself to people?
All right. Well, most people know, especially the older generation does. But yeah, I started building mine equipment in 1976. Been a gold diver ever since, almost 50 years. I owned Gold Grabber Manufacturing Company for that 50 years. I invented like 19 different products. I don't copy nobody's. Everybody's mine. Everything's mine. I design it myself. And then after that, about 5 years ago, I decided that it wasn't fun anymore to build equipment. I really enjoyed it for all those years and found somebody that was interested in buying it. So I sold Gold Grabber, and I'm just enjoying this, do more mining and metal detecting.
Oh, Gold Grabber. So Gold Grabbers look like that, didn't they? That was the big Gold Grabber.
Yeah, that was one of the original. They used to be sheet metal. Yeah, there's the mini. Yeah, we built them for years. It's just too bad the guy I sold the business to didn't do anything with it. He's a little bit lazy, and he just never. He actually told me about 3 months ago that he shelved the business. So whatever that means.
I know that somebody asked me a while back they were interested in buying part of that, and they could never get a hold of him, and he doesn't answer phones and all of that. So that was kind of weird that he just let that kind of go like that.
Yeah, he kind of. I tried contacting him myself. The phone number that I have for him, for his personal phone number, he no longer uses or doesn't have it, and he doesn't really have a website anymore. He's kind of lazy. I think he was expecting the business to feed him instead of him feeding the business, and he didn't want to work at it.
And I know, and I remember there was a few of us that even wanted to go in and pick up a bunch of those pans, and to pick up several hundreds, and he wouldn't even part with them. He didn't want nothing to do.
And the sad thing about it is I invented that gold pan about 9 years ago, and we were selling about 4,000 to 5,000 pans a year. And as soon as he bought the business, I have kind of a royalty deal going, and he just got, like I said, lazy and shelved it. And I've actually got people that's been here mining from Tennessee this week, and they wanted to get 30 or 40 pans, and he wouldn't even answer their phone.
I know that's sad, but this is one of them pans. This was the smaller one. You made two sizes.
Yeah, that's the most popular one. I have a 10-year no competition clause with this guy, and in a few years that'll run out. I have an improved model of that pan. It'll have 4 riffles instead of 3, and it'll still be able to pan in a 5-gallon bucket. So if I'm still alive in 5 more years, there you go, 4 more years, Jack, I'll be ready.
That's what was nice about this pan, because this would sit in my bucket that has a lid on it. I could fill this with water, put the twist lid on it, go out and just sample. And I could just pan directly into the water with this pan.
That was probably the best invention I ever came with. I've invented lots of items that everybody could afford but nobody wanted, and lots of stuff that everybody wanted but nobody could afford. And so to find that middle ground, Jack, is pretty tough.
Well, I got one of your trailers that you did.
I love that. Yeah, that's another story. We'll have to do a show on that one. I'm kind of back owning the company again, and we'll talk about that.
Really? Oh, I never heard that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you know anybody else that wants one, we can do a great job on pricing. So.
Oh, well then I'll have to do more show and tell of my trailer then. And you
I'd
know
love it.
that I never did. I talked to you a while back about how the one you got, you put the little RV window in the front on the door part.
Correct.
And so what I thought about doing, I have to put a little window in the door, and then I also thought maybe on the side put together like maybe a little dinky slide window or something on top, on the side
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, I
But
did find I did do a search, and you only have about 9 inches of flat surface there, Jack. So I
right.
did find some. I think they were marine rated, and they come in pairs, and they slide back and forth, and they fit right in there perfect. I'm thinking about putting a couple on the side of mine.
Well, the reason I say that is because, so I went out in the desert. I guess this was last year, and I thought, I'll sleep in this sucker. It's barely enough room to lay down in it. It's about 6 feet. What is it? 6 feet?
It's 6'6".
Okay, well, 6'6". So I have a few inches anyway. But so I didn't want to close the door, so I left the door open and used a bungee cord and just kind of left that open. But I got in there and I was sleeping, and it kind of got cold on me one night, and I thought, well, let me just go ahead and close this door. So I closed the door, and I'm laying there, and I reach up and I touch the ceiling, and I say to myself, wow, this is what it feels like to be in a coffin. And then all of a sudden I started freaking out, man, and I had to get out of that thing and huff.
I have them sitting around here. I have about 25 of them on the place, and one person did stop by wanting to know if they were coffins. It's kind of scary.
I know. That's why I've got to put that. You do have that vent up front, though,
Yeah, I have a back window in mine that opens up and it gets some air going. But I'm thinking about putting windows in the side too, because it'd be kind of nice to get some light in through the side.
Yeah, some air, some light, just so you don't feel like you're in a coffin.
Sure. Yeah, we've been getting lots of gold, Jack, the last couple of weeks. I've been pretty satisfied with that.
So you're dredging. Where are you dredging at?
We're dredging in northern Idaho on the Salmon River.
Oh.
We're getting pretty good gold. We just found the pay streak and followed it out to about 14 feet of water, 12, 14. We're having a little trouble right now with some fish. We got this big old bass that's about 5-pounder, and we named him Gil because he's there every day, and he's always in our face. And he just you'd be dredging along, and he's just grabbing and snapping and grabbing bugs and whatever he can. Kind of fun.
Well, a lot of people, they may not realize, but yeah, dredgers actually are good for the environment, because when you're dredging, just what you're saying, you're aerating new material for those fish, and they'll all come in there to snatch up all them crustaceans and all that type of stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we've got probably there's someplace between 30 and 40 bass and various kinds of fish lined up on the end of the sluice box every morning, waiting for dinner. Hey, they're getting kind of aggressive. The bass just hangs right next to my mast. And the other day, he started pushing on. I am not kidding. They're real territorial, and he started leaning on my mast, trying to push me over. And he gets doing that very much. Instead of me furnishing him lunch, he's going to be furnishing me lunch.
Well, that's why you just turn the nozzle on him,
Gil's pretty fast, but he's there, boy. You start that motor, he feels that vibration. He's there right now.
Yeah. No, I remember on the Stanislaus, I was down below, there though, that's pretty deep. So I'm probably down 15, 20 feet of water, at least 15 feet down. I was down quite a bit. And you constantly got to watch them boulders and make sure they don't fall in on you. And then the tender is very important. It's nice if you're down like that to have a good tender. But my dad was up there tending, and these fish would come into the hole, and I'd suck these fish up and send them out the box, and he'd see these fish coming out, then he'd hurry and try to grab them.
I did that in Australia. I was dredging in Australia on the Goulburn River, and they've got crawfish like ours, only they're 10 times bigger. And there was one sitting on the shelf, and I just saw him there, and he was backing up, and I sucked him up, and my dredge tender, it just grabbed his hand while he was picking rocks. It was fun.
So do you got any gold with you to show and tell?
I'd have to get up and go get the bottles, but I got a couple bottles already going. Yeah, you know, we're doing about probably 13 to 16 grams in 4 hours. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. That's decent
Yeah,
wages.
yeah. We don't have any nuggets. There's no bedrock's about 30 feet down.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just
Well,
a skim layer that's about 2 feet thick, and you can see the pieces of gold. Every time you take a swipe, it looks just like a jewelry store. It's just pieces coming in everywhere.
you know, I got to get up there one of these years and come dredge
I
with you.
know. Stick you underwater. Yeah, come up closer to salmon season, catch a bunch of salmon, take them home with you too.
Yeah, that I need too. I saw the some good salmon you've been catching.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. What biggest problem you have with salmon is they stay at the mouth of the Columbia River, and you'll be underwater. Now I don't dredge that early in the year, but they will attack a seal and just ram them. And when you're underwater, what do you got? A black wetsuit on. And it hasn't
Oh,
happened to me, but 3 or 4 of the guys have been nailed. The salmon will just try running you off, and they'll just hit you in the ribs or hit you someplace where you don't want to be hit. And some of them guys are thinking about wearing jock straps so they don't get the twins messed up.
but isn't because the salmon are attacking you because they're and that's why they're attacking you because
Yeah,
like they say when you go fishing for salmon during the spawning season and you're hooking them, you're really not hooking them. They're not biting, but they're trying to knock it out of the way, and you're snagging them.
yeah. We don't fish on the spawn beds because the fish are usually kind of deteriorated by then. We catch them right when they get out of the ocean. They're here, and they don't have any hard water. They're from the Columbia into the Snake and then into the salmon. So some of them still have those sea barnacles on them.
Oh, well, I know when we were fishing, if you get them once they start getting a hump, then they're no good, and you
Yeah,
don't keep them. But
yeah,
because once they come out of the ocean and into the waters, then they're coming into spawn.
yeah,
Or at least
yeah. They
that's
got
what.
500 miles to swim before they get that far.
Oh,
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, the fish are good and solid. They average in about 12 to 18 pounds. That's nice.
so you're bringing some of them down with you this winter too, right?
Yeah, I'm bringing you some salmon. Hey, we've been
All
up
right.
picking huckleberries too. I'm gonna bring you a huckleberry pie.
Huckleberry fin. Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to come on down. We'll go out metal detect and we'll have a big salmon fry or something.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'll bring enough. We'll just feed everybody.
Oh yeah. There we go. Let's see who came in here. Kelly, Richard, Jamie. Welcome, guys. If you guys got any questions you want to ask Alan, be sure to let them know. Las Vegas checking in. Las Vegas, you guys been getting some rain up in that area too. I've seen some. One of the best pans ever invented, I think. David Villa says. Look at that, Alan. Wow,
Cool.
that's true. But so I was going to tell you. So when you redesign it, I only got one request. I like the fact that it have an extra riffle, but I like the fact it's got the drop bottom and all that. So an extra riffle would be cool. But the only request I have is on the back. You got to put a grabber on there.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd be pretty
something
easy.
something you got to hold on to. Because other than that, you're holding it like this. But if you got the grabber, you can grab onto that. The grabber.
I
The
get
grabber.
it. The new one, Jack's, going to be 1.5 inches longer and 1.25 inches wider and 1 inch deeper. And the reason I'm doing that is because I get lots of letters, lots of phone calls, lots of people that's got them, and they want one that just holds a little bit more material. And for speed panning, it'd probably be and it'll still fit in a 5-gallon bucket.
I was going to say that'll be close to going in a bucket then.
Yeah. Yeah, that blue
Cool.
one looks like it's pretty well wore out there, Jack.
You want to see one that's worn out?
Oh my gosh.
Look at this one. At first, I found this one.
Are you kidding? Look at that. How in the world did you do that?
Sun, just leaving it outside.
Oh, wow. Well, the metal pans have their use, and of course, plastic's really nice. The nice thing about them is you can fry eggs in them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you can do a few things with the metal pen. You can put mercury in there too.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's another story too.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're not too late, David Simon. We just got started. Jamie just got home from a cruise from Alaska. Wow. Buck Rackley, I've eaten he's eaten huckleberries. Okay. I don't know if I've ever ate a huckleberry.
Oh, they're good. Yeah, they're good. They're basically like a wild blueberry, only they're real strong flavor. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to
It'd
fight the
probably
bears off when you're picking them, but that's all right.
it'd probably be good to have some huckleberry wine.
Hey, that would be wonderful. I've made everything. Huckleberry pancakes are fantastic. Oh my God.
Let's make some huckleberry wine. Because see then
Oh my gosh. Yes, indeed.
this was last week's show. It's empty.
Wow, you can just barely get by. I don't
One per show.
You must make a lot of trips to Costco.
This is just cheap dollar store wine. It's pretty good
Oh,
stuff.
hey, that's good stuff. A
It
dollar
is.
store wine, there's nothing wrong with it. I've got a family member that she said unless you spend at least $50 a bottle, it ain't gonna be worth a darn. And I've tried, and they were over one time, and I poured them one of the $1.19 ones. God, this is good. And I said, well, that's you just tried some $50 wine.
Yeah, no, there's like 350, but yeah, this is Gallo family.
Oh
But this
yeah,
it's a sweet wine. The sweet strawberry. I like the sweet stuff. I
me
like
too.
my stuff
It
sweet
has to taste good. It has to taste good.
and sweet.
Yeah.
I like sweet. That's kind of how I like my women. I like them sweet.
So you've been
Oh.
keeping the place pretty busy around there, Jack? A lot of people.
No, it's summertime, so it's dead. I think there's only one person here. Is all that's here
Oh,
right
wow.
now.
Okay.
Uh, let's see. Jamie wants to go metal detecting with you this fall. Huckleberry Shine. There we go. With a kick. Should sell a bottle. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do all types of cool stuff. So yeah, when are you thinking about getting out here?
I'm trying to come this year a little bit earlier, like around the 15th of January, and stay to about sometime towards the end of June if I can. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Last year we found 3 nuggets right there at Quartzsite off Dome Rock, and nothing very big, but found some pretty nice ones there.
I got to broaden out to, I may have to start hitting Quartzsite too because, or finding me a new nugget patch over here because we clean this place out over here.
Yeah, I'd love to try that 6,000. I got a couple spots over there. I found those 2 9-gram a couple years ago. That was kind of nice.
How about the 7,000? I got a 7 too.
Yeah, I'd like to. You're gonna have to train me on some of them. I'm an old gold bug guy. Gold bug, I like it. 4 knobs. One of them is to turn it on. The other one's the battery check. So you can see it's pretty
Yeah.
simple.
Well, they got the new gold bug out now. It's got a little screen on it now.
Oh, does it? Yeah.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah, I love them. I still have a 35-year-old gold bug. I found those 2 9-grammers down about 10 inches in the top of a tailing pile. That was fun.
No, gold bugs are a decent machine.
I
They're
noticed
really
that
good.
whenever you see Sutherland or see any of his stuff, he sometimes makes a comment, well, I'm an old gold bug guy, so that's why I do this or do that. So I imagine he's still got one.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when I was up in Meadview, I cleaned house up there. I mean, I pulled probably close to 100 pieces of gold off up in that area.
Wow. Yeah, I hunted Meadview 4 years ago, and I found 2 nuggets on that GPA claim. Not big ones; they were small.
Yeah.
They got lots of quartz in them with ribbons of gold through them. Really pretty.
Everything I found up there was all attached to the caliche. But
Oh,
right there, you have the king tut, and then you have the queen tuts. It's down up in that area.
yeah. I tried King Tut on that state land on the other side, and they run me off, but mostly because I came in from the Meadview side. I think there's a way to get in there from up above.
Yeah, a lot of people, they kind of go over the hill from, that's the Lost Basin area in Meadview. They're going up over the hill and dropping into Gold Basin into the private area,
Yeah.
the withdrawn area, but they're finding nuggets over there. Let's see. Jamie says, wife found a 3-gram nugget with quartz and granite attached in Meadview. Now it's her favorite necklace.
Yeah.
Where at in Meadview? I want to know, Jamie. Where at? See, Dave, I need to know your webpage. I'm getting back to work soon and want that Garrett Ace Apex just past your right shoulder. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's the Jace. What you call it? That's a good detector. That's this one. Jace Robertson Signature Ed Edition. I haven't took that out and used it yet, but I want to sample that. That's supposed to be a pretty decent machine too. So, oh, okay, Jamie. Yeah, claims that we have up there are north of Jeff Williams's. But yeah, call the website is goldfeverradio.com, but I don't think the detectors are on there. If you want that detector, just call the camp at 928-851-7167, and we can take care of you on that detector. We'll give you a good deal on it. Anybody wants a detector, we give them a good deal. We don't charge people retail. We charge people, well, I have to do MAP, so, but I have to advertise MAP, but I can sell it for anything. So anyways, cool. So Alan the Gold Digger. So you go out every day?
Well, I'm 73 years old, Jack. So I'm still in pretty good shape, but we go about 4 days and then we take a couple days off. Kind of need to do that a little bit. I used to, when I was younger, I'd work. I was an electrician for almost 50 years, and I'd work at the electrical trade till 3:30, drive 58 miles from Boise over to the South Fork of the Payette River, dredge till dark, drive back in the dark, and be to work at 6 the next morning, and do that 5 days a week. But I don't do that anymore. Now I'm doing it more for fun than anything.
Are you still in the house that you built along the river right there?
Yeah. You can see it behind my head. See my Egyptian paintings on the wall?
Yeah, I thought you were selling that place.
Well, that's the rumor. Yeah. I was, I got 2 acres here, Jack, and a huge shop and a beautiful home right on the river. I built it. I laid over 30 ton of river rock on the house, but I was thinking about scaling my life down. We own a place in Meridian, Idaho too. And I thought I'd scale my life down a little bit, but I just, it's awful comfortable here. Just can't do it.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, David, give a call and we'll take care of you, man. Terry says, quick nickels are better than slow dollars. I lost me. That goes over my head.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of lost on that one.
I don't know. Quick nickels are better than slow dollars. I don't know. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, now that I'm slowing down, when I'm underwater, I used to be an animal underneath there, stacking boulders and just going crazy. But now I take my time. When you're in 12, 13 feet of water, it don't take much of a mistake to, I've been dredging all over the world, South America, Central America, New Guinea, all over the world. And you get in that deep water and the safety factors just go down the toilet real quick. And I got drugged down the river about 1.5 miles by my air hose one time. And that was not, I pulled my weights and I never wear one of those harnesses when I'm dredging because you can't get out of them in a panic. You cannot get out of that harness. So I shove it through my weight belt. When I'm training hookah divers and gold divers, I always tell them, take that airline, run it through your weight belt. So when you get in trouble, you pull that breakaway, everything's free from you, and you'll float like a cork.
Well, I remember the harness I had something on your chest and you hooked it in.
Yes,
so you had a breakaway right there that you could break it away.
Well, I tell you what, when you're being drugged down river at about 35 knots with an 80-pound buckshot belt on you. You ain't got time to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah,
Trust
well,
me. And I'm
no,
a pretty skilled diver.
yeah, no,
It
I
shook.
no, I
I still
understand
have
that.
nightmares about that.
Oh, oh, it's selling things cheaper is what it is. Oh, to make quick nickels is better than slow dollar. Okay, I get you.
Yeah, I get
Selling
it.
lots cheaper. Well, I remember what got me with dredging, and I still to this date when I think about it was, so like I said, I was under there, and my dad was supposed to be tending, and I got really nauseous, and I came up and I started puking, and my dad was clear down. Said he was chasing fish down the river. He wasn't even paying attention to me what I was doing, but I was sucking in exhaust fumes, and it just got to me, where I started puking, and even to this date, when I think about that feeling, that almost gets to me.
Yeah, it takes days to get it. Without a blood transfusion, it takes about 7-8 days to get it out of your system.
I don't think it's out of my system still.
Oh,
It still makes
I
me.
see. Your
It still
brain, you got
makes
a brain problem.
Well, it still makes me just the thought of that. It gives me gagginess, like when I just think about, you know,
Well,
that taste.
I was running an 8-inch dredge one time, and a buddy of mine was next to me with a 4-inch, and his dredge floated over next to my air compressor, and his exhaust was blowing right into there. And I started seeing black splotches. I started seeing sharks. I started seeing scary stuff. And boy, I come out of there, and I was sick for about a week.
Yeah, sharks. Yeah.
Sharks kind of shake you up.
Oh yeah, I bet you did. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't want to be dredging in the ocean.
No,
That.
no.
How come you never see? So you see that Bering Sea gold and all that. How come you never seen those sharks?
Well, I think the water's too cold up there. I've got a lot of
Oh,
invitations to come up there. Discovery wanted me to come up there do a couple of shows, and the ocean never did appeal to me much. I don't know why. I just like I've dredged all over Alaska. I've been on the 40 mile and up the Koyukuk and all over Wiseman, and I'm more of a river dredger. That ocean thing, I don't really have a lot of interest in that.
no, it's. I think you have to have a different certification to ocean. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't even want to put on, like in Alaska when I've dredged in. I'd go under. I could only stay under there maybe 45 minutes max, and you come up and your lips are all blue and it's freezing
Yeah.
cold. And when people wear them heat exchangers, to blow hot water down you, I wouldn't want that. No,
Yeah, I've used hot water heaters. They'll burn you if you're not careful. Where we're dredging right now, the river's 82, 83 degree water, so it's pretty nice.
well, why are you wearing a wetsuit still?
I know. There are people that just put on old pair of coveralls. The problem is when you get wet, your skin gets soft, and you're bouncing off the rocks down here and pecking them, and they take pieces of skin out every time you do that.
Oh,
So you got to have some protection. Plus, it just feels better to be covered. I used to dredge in the river here with just a pair of coveralls on, but nah, I kind of like the wetsuit. Kind of covers you up, protects you. And Gil might start biting at me, so I got to be careful of Gil.
Bill says looking forward to coming out to Arizona this winter. Yep, come on out. Okay, so tell us how you ever got involved with prospecting in the very beginning.
Well, I tell you, it's kind of a long story. My dad was an electrician too, and my brother's an electrician. And one day, sometime in the early 70s, we had a friend of the family that did a lot of gold panning, and she showed me how to use a gold pan. And about 1968, my dad wanted me to be an electrician like him when I graduated from high school. And I said, Dad, I don't want to be an electrician. I'm scared to death of electricity. I want to be an artist. I like designing things, developing things, painting things. I've never been taught any or have any academics in art, but it was what I wanted to do. And so I became an electrician for my dad, and boy, am I glad I listened to him. I'd have starved to death. And then my dad took me out and showed me how to make a sluice box in 1972, and then I invented the gold grabber in 1975, and it kind of just went from there. It's kind of one of the things that evolves. Next thing you know, you got people writing. I write for the mining journals. I write for treasure magazines. People start looking at you as, oh, need somebody to go to South America, do a property evaluation. and they'd ship me down there. And I spent years and years in Central America, South America, and doing those. But that's kind of how I got started. The Gold Grabber got me. The Gold Grabber hydraulic concentrator, which is the shoveling unit, that put me on the map.
Yeah, I remember the very first one. I remember going to a gold show one time, and some guy come up to me and he says, that's when, I remember when you sold the company, I bought the Gold Grabber, the high banker part of that.
That's correct. Yeah.
And so I was going to the gold shows and doing them, and one guy says that he had an original and he wanted to trade for one of the newer ones, and how much would I give him for that, and blah blah. So we worked out a deal, and the next day he brought it to me, and I brought that home and had that old antique made out of tin with the old different style logos on it and everything. And
yeah, the logos on them were made by the Idaho State Penitentiary. They made license plates, and they had a company called Idaho Industries, and they made the stickers for me. Yeah, that was pretty fun. The metal ones, the original ones, the first 10 I made in 1976, if you turned them over, it would say stop or yield or something like that. Because the state of Idaho, their sign department had these old signs out in back, and they'd give them to you, and I'd bend the aluminum up and turn all the writing the other way. And a lot of people pull the drawer out and it'd say something like turn or don't turn or detour.
Wow,
hey, when you're starting out, you got to do what you got to do.
Let's see what's anybody saying. David says, I don't like the ocean anymore. One encounter with the jellyfish was enough. Oh, if you get stung by a jellyfish, you got to pee on it. I know.
I don't like that.
You have to pee on yourself. Bill Sherry said, never dredge, but it sounds cool. I was scuba certified in 1970. Wish I'd been turned on to dredging when I was young. Well, if you know how to scuba, then dredging's a piece of cake then.
Yeah, I tell people when I'm training divers, gold divers and stuff, I said, and you kind of learn this from your prospecting skills anyway, is there's a difference between somebody underneath the water holding a vacuum cleaner and a gold diver. And I try to, and you got to start out somewhere. So obviously you're going to be holding a vacuum cleaner and diving underwater. But to be able to read the stratification of the pastries, watch the black sand, see how cemented the rocks is. There's a lot. There's some prospecting skills involved, and just stay in the pastry, or you'll just be down there sucking rocks, and when you get out, you hit and miss all the way. So and that you develop that. You just can't start out that way. But yeah, there's some to it. After I spent almost 50 years underwater, there's still things that surprise me. But I can read the river. When I get in the water, I can tell you if I'm in gold pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The one thing I've never done is scuba. I've always thought about scuba, but I know you have to be certified to scuba. You don't have to be certified to be on a hookah system on a dredge.
That's correct.
It's easier.
The safety factors are still the same. When you're coming out of the water, Jack, you want to breathe in and out. You don't want to hold your breath. And you want to stay no deeper than about 30 feet. That's 1 atmosphere. And you should be all right, because you're going to run out of gas and have to come up anyway. So, in most hookah diving, you don't get in deep water. Most of your gold's found in 4 or 5 feet of water anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think your hoses are only like 20-foot hoses, I think. And
yeah.
So, and then you got your air tanker, your reserve tank on about 10 minutes of air, and then you've got another 4 foot. So you can really only go down about 25 foot maybe, max.
One thing, Jack, back up a little bit. You were asking me, where I started and how I got started in it. Remember now, when I started, I wanted to be, instead of an electrician like my dad wanted me to be, I wanted to be an artist. And before my dad died, I got 40 years in at the trade. So before my dad died, he told me, he says, guess what? You did become an artist. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, an artist is somebody that designs something or develops something, and then somebody wants to buy it from you. So I always thought that was cool, how my dad could twist things around to make you feel good,
Wayne says he has number 5 Gold Grabber. He still uses it.
Wow. I thought old Nugget Brain would have it wore out by now.
Well, he can only use it like one time a year because he's working and doing something else the rest of the time out of the year. So
Got a real job. Yeah.
yeah. Don G, welcome Don. Yeah. Huh. Oh, Wayne said they were numbered. Yeah. I don't know what my numbers were. I still got them outside by the pond for our, well, that's by our extravaganza, you know, that, because I've got all types of equipment. I got everybody's equipment out there that's ever worth a nickel to, to use them out there.
Good.
Uh, and my Mini has a hand pump on it. That was a pretty slick idea.
Yeah. The rocker with the rocker with the hand pump on
Yeah.
it really, I ship those things all over the world. I mean, thousands of them. I ship them to Africa because keep in mind, they don't have gasoline in those remote areas. And I shipped a bunch of them to Sierra Leone, Africa, to use back in the jungle because they could operate that plunger all day long and rock it back and forth. And that was a major piece of mine equipment. I mean, these guys are panning 3 or 4 grams a week with their underwear tied onto a board and back and forth. I mean, these guys with that rocker, it really. And then when California went to that no motorized stuff, the rockers really sold well down there because they were non-motorized, and of course it wasn't long, and they were able to change that rule. So,
well, see, I tried to talk to that guy about when he wasn't doing anything anymore of selling me just the rocker part of it, and he said, well, like, let me think about it. And then I never heard back from him. And then he would never return calls or nothing.
Well,
like that.
I tried to buy the Gold Grabber pan back from him, and I would pay him a royalty on him. And, because I'm supposed to be getting a check from him every time he sells, twice a year. And I've had to sue him twice just to threaten him one time, sued him about 2 weeks ago just to get my royalties. So he's, I don't want to say anything bad about him. I think he's just very lazy and just incompetent. And well, I mean, other than that, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, I don't want to say nothing bad about him. He's just a jerk. He's an ass. He's other than that, he's a pretty good guy.
Well, I think he is. I mean, I can't hold that against him just because somebody is not being very. Yeah. People say that about me all the time. I don't want to say anything bad about him. He's an ass, and other than that, he's a good guy. Yeah. Most of the guys I talk to, Jack, they see your stuff, they love you. I ain't kidding you. You got a sense of you. You look like just a regular Joe like me, just a regular guy. I love that.
I'm just a regular guy, man. But I like other people. Anytime you're in a position, you piss people off. When people can't get away with stuff, and you got to make people obey rules and laws, you piss them off. That's just, and I've pissed my share of people off. So.
Well, I did too. I used to build that mini 5-inch dredge, and all it was a complete 5-inch dredge, but with 4-inch pontoons. And I can count on one hand all the people that have came to me irritated at what I sold them, and that's a pretty good record. I can really honestly tell you that. But this guy came to me, bought a 5-inch dredge, a mini. We're going to use it on the Feather River on that dam over there. I don't know what dam it is. And I told him, I said, it's made for not fast water. It's just a dredge that'll fit in the back of your pickup, but it's a complete 5-inch dredge with smaller pontoons. Well, he called me up about 3 weeks later, and he says, hey, I sunk the dredge. I said, what do you mean you sunk the dredge? Well, I threw 2 80-pound belts on it. I put all my camping gear on it. I loaded all my prospecting gear on it. Then I climbed up on it, and it went to the bottom of that lake. And then he calls me on the phone telling me that I didn't have enough flotation. And, you just, you can't make anything that's damn foolproof. There's going to be somebody mess it up.
Oh, yeah. Mike Duffy. Hello, Mike. Mike found his little share of gold out there at Meadview area. He was out there when I was out there. I think Mike's coming to the extravaganza too. Anyway, so yeah, what was I thinking? I was going to say something. I don't remember. Oh, you know what I should do? Let me play a commercial here, okay? Let me somebody that wants to pay my bills. I have to let them pay my bills. Can you hang with us a sec, Alan?
You bet, Jack. I'll get some gold over here and show you in a minute, too.
Perfect. All right, folks, we'll be right back.
ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the only monthly gold prospecting magazine published in the United States and is the most comprehensive and respected magazine about gold prospecting on the market today. With readers in all 50 states, it features articles on detecting, high banking, dredging, small-scale operations, assaying, basic geology, how to read the land, regulations, and more. Our monthly Ask the Experts column is answered by true experts. It features answers to readers' questions on processing, detecting, geology, and any other questions you may have related to finding and recovering gold and other precious metals. The Mining Journal features the most extensive selection of equipment, mining properties, services, and more, and a classified section featuring over 20 times more new and used items than the nearest competitor. The Mining Journal has been in continuous publication since 1931. A full 12 issues is available for just $27.95, and discounts are available for 2- and 3-year subscriptions. And an online subscription gives you access to over 3,000 articles going back nearly 20 years. Our purpose is to teach you how to find more gold. ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the tool you need to succeed. It's time to raise your gold prospecting knowledge to the next level with ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. Give us a call at 831-479-1500 or visit www.icmj.com. That's www.icmj.com.
ICMJ. You know, ICMJ's under new ownership now.
I heard that. You know, I wrote for them for years, and the Harn family were just great people.
They are, but new ownership now. So if you, this is probably the best prospecting magazine you can get that's out there on gold prospect, because it covers everything on well, this kind of old water channels, kind of what you're talking about. Important clues, all about trommel, screens, classifiers, metal detecting, how to read rivers, washes, mountains, metal detect, everything on prospecting. So if you don't have the subscription to the Mining Journal, call them, get a subscription. Make sure you tell them Gold Fever Radio told you to call. See, we have an ad inside of here, you know, so they like it when you tell them, mention our name when you call them.
Yeah, it's a great company. Great company.
It is. Let's see. What did I miss here? Somebody said you can't fix stupid. That is true.
Yeah, sure.
We were talking about, let's see, that's Alan, people like that are the reason they have instructions on peanuts, open package eating nuts. Mike Duffy, after the extravaganza, I'm going back to Meadview too. So I'll meet you up there. Meadview is only 2 hours away from my home, Jamie. All right. I'm about 3 hours, I think, from here, 3.5 hours or something like that. It's not, you know, this is this is no shit. Okay. I'm going to tell you something. You're talking about instruction, you know, in Northern Tools in the catalog, if you look in the catalog, they have this device that you stick in your receiver hitch. And what it is, it's the toilet thing lid like. And so you put it in your receiver hitch and then you can sit on it to go to the bathroom. Well, okay, that's a pretty cool idea, actually, when you think about it. But so there's an instruction thing on there that says, do not use while vehicle is in operation. So, you know, somebody had to do that for them to put that warning label on there.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Jack, here's the size of some of this gold that we're getting. I don't know.
Oh, yes, let's see some gold.
Can you see it? I don't know where to put it on this thing to show it, but
in front of your camera.
Well, I don't know where the camera.
Put it in front of your eyes. Put it in front of your eyes, in front of your face.
Well, I got it in front of my face. I don't see anything yet. Oh, yeah, there we go. I'll get it back here a ways. There you go. This is the kind of, we're filling these things up pretty regular.
Oh, there you go. Whoa, baby.
Yeah. You know, it's, you know, not lots of gold, but when you're filling up these things, they, you know, that $1,700 gold kind of mounts up pretty good. Our gold's run about 92 fine. So that makes it nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of
Nice.
fun. I really enjoyed it. It kind of keeps me, exercised up, and I was a bodybuilder for 32 years, and when I had to quit doing that after a back surgery, I think this is kind of the next best thing for me to stay healthy.
Wow. I have to come up there and help you retrieve some of that
Yeah, I'd
gold.
like to see you underwater. I think you and Gil would get along pretty good.
Okay. Uh, Next year I'll plan it for sure.
Okay. Well, you got a place to stay. I got a guest house and everything, so we'll have some fun.
Yeah, well, I have my RV.
Now, don't haul that thing clear over here. Jeez. Don't you
Well,
have a
I
little
have
rice?
to.
Huh?
I have to. That's my home.
Well, I don't plan you to stay here that long. I was going to put you in the small bedroom. That way you'd last only so long. You'd feel like you're in a coffin.
But if I got to bring the dredge and my toys, it's got to fit in the back of
Just
the
throw them in the
trailer.
back of your pickup.
But then I got to sleep someplace.
Like I said, I got a guest house here. You can just stay
Yeah,
there.
but you know how long it's going to take me to get to? It takes me a week to get to Idaho.
Oh my God.
I only drive 3 hours a day, man.
Me and Susie would drive all the way down there to Quartzsite, hunt gold, and we'd be there in I think it was like about 14 hours.
No, I can't do that, man.
Okay, you big
Slow and
baby.
easy. Slow and easy. I'm out to just enjoy life. I know, that when I stopped at your place last time and you tell me, like don't pull your RV down in the yard. And so I parked it across the
Well,
street from you.
I didn't know, I didn't really know what you had, and there's kind of a steep road coming into the place, so I thought maybe you'd start freaking out. You flatlanders are used to a lot flatter ground.
Well, yeah, but that RV is like 40 something feet.
Oh
And when
yeah, never
people,
mind. Yeah, you'd have never made that turn.
no, that's what I say. And so it was parked up there on the road, and I took a picture of that. And when people look at that picture, they think, how can that truck pull that trailer?
Yeah, it's about 10 times bigger than the truck. But
Yeah.
I have another approach into my place now. A guy down the road built a bigger approach, so you can come in from the end now.
Oh, well, I'll get me a smaller trailer to bring. So I'll
Yeah,
have something smaller. I like my own thing. I don't
I
like to
know.
impose on other people.
I know.
Jason says wants to go and get some gold that way too. 3 days on the road. I have never been on a dredge, Jason says. Wow. Wow. Well, I got just if you've never been on one, it's easy to climb up on one. Just get up on.
Yeah, those.
Dredging is I was gonna say dredging is actually the most easiest piece of prospecting there is because really all you're doing is laying there and you can't move that nozzle too fast or you can't see what you're doing. So you have to just kind of let the nozzles kind of suck the material up slowly as you kind of move it around, just kind of relaxing. You're very buoyant underwater and just, it's just in the la la land. And you just,
Well, it kind of is. One thing about it is, Jack, when you're laying down there, it's a whole new world. I mean, everything quiets down. Really, you're onto something there. You actually, your brain kind of settles down. You're buoyant. You're just watching the material go into the nozzle. You're looking around. You can see fish. You can see rocks. It's all the rocks are beautiful underwater. Of course, they're all different colors. And that's the biggest problem. When I was dredging on the Payette River, my dad was tending dredge for me, and he'd always let me know when it was lunchtime. He'd pull on my airline. Well, when you're underwater for a couple hours and you're relaxed and you're kind of just, you're just like nothing bothering you. And then he reaches out there with a long sticks and pokes you in the ribs. I mean, you just jump 20 feet in the air. I mean, you think of Jaws instantly. You think of Jaws coming at you. I told him never do that again.
yeah. Jason says he floats. You've been diving before. Well, if you've dived, then you can dredge. Then
There you go.
yeah, if you've been diving, there's dredging is It's the same thing. You're using the same apparatus basically, only instead of breathing out of the tank, you're breathing from the air up above, manufactured air. I mean, it's because you still got to get used to that mouthpiece. That's the hardest piece. I remember when I first got my dredge, I put it in my swimming pool and I went underwater in my swimming pool to learn to because you want to hold your breath is what you want to do.
Well, yeah, because you're breathing through your mouth. If you blow through your nose, then you lose the suction on your mask and it fills up with water. But I'm a mouth breather anyway, even though I'm sleeping at night or whatever. I kind of breathe. So it was pretty easy for me. But you're right. A lot of people go into this panic mode. When I'm training them, I put them in shallow water and I just, I'll hook air on them. And I said, you just lay here and just crawl out to me as you and you don't, if you got two people on one air tank, I always tell them, because when they first hit the water and they're not familiar with it, they're sucking in and sucking out, sucking it, and they're pulling all the air out. They won't relax and takes nice, gentle breaths. So it takes a little bit, but it's easy to learn.
Yeah, and we was in Colorado, we was kind of teaching people to dredge, and there was this one guy, he couldn't do the mouthpiece until somebody else said, well, he had a full face mask, and he said, well, this will help you out, because it's different. So he put that on, and he still, he was like claustrophobic underwater, and he started to just freak out. So no matter what you did, he couldn't go underwater.
Hey, I had a brother-in-law that got seasick underwater, and that sounds strange. You think you'd have to be on top of the water, but he'd be laying there in the water, bobbing around, and next thing you know, he's starting to throw up and turning green, and yeah, I've never seen that one before, and I've trained thousands of divers. Seasick underwater.
Jamie says he's got a backpack like dredging. I remember somebody created it was a long tube, PVC tube like, and I forget what they called that.
Wasn't that called a bazooka? They called
it a bazooka. Yes, that's what that was, a bazooka.
Yeah.
I've never ever saw one of them operate other than just on videos.
Yeah, I've seen them a little bit, and I haven't seen them in 25 years. I think they're really made for coarser gold because, we called them overburden dredges in the old days. We'd bring them in there and blow all the sand off, all the overburden, and then we'd put them aside and put a real dredge in there. But if you got any nuggets, of course, they'll pick that up.
Yeah, no, I would love to go underwater and learn with the oxygen, the tanks, because I'd like to do that in metal detect, some of these coals and places like that.
Yeah, I found some artifacts underwater over the years too. I found rings, I found tokens, I found gold teeth. I got a gold tooth that I found. I'm not sure how the guy's doing right now without it, but and believe it or not, I did that show for Massey that time, and I actually was dredging in a granite bedrock area that had a notch in it. I found 3 small 2 and 3 gram nuggets laying there and that gold tooth. And it was and I swear it was all and I always thought it was a nugget. I never really paid a whole lot of attention to it. And it was a tooth. It was from the 30s. I showed it to a dentist, and he said it was an inlay that they used to do in the 30s, and pounding gold real thin, then tamp it in real thin, tamp it in, and build it up into an inlay.
And you still got that?
I still got the tooth. I sure do. I know, isn't that weird? I still do. I kept my very first nugget I ever found in my life, and I kept my first tooth.
Really, that's Jamie or David says he remembers that video. I don't have any of my gold. I don't keep gold. I sell it, trade it, give it away. I don't keep gold.
Well, my dad, when he was alive, we were doing 100 ounces this summer. I look at it as, I'll keep a couple bottles around, but I sell it. It's a commodity.
That's all it is. That's the way I look at it. Gold is just a commodity. People say, I tell them everybody's heard this story before. I keep my gold in the bank, that. Which bank?
Yeah.
That bank or that creek bank or that bank. Yeah. And whenever I need it, I just go get it withdraw from the bank, I can go get it. When people say, I'll trade you some gold. Well, okay, hold on. I got to go get me some first.
Yeah.
So,
Now, you know, gold is a kind of a universal money anyway, so it's always good.
I know, but what's going on with gold? How come it's
You know, I don't know. You know, it's strange. Usually, it's the enemy of the dollar. So when dollar's up, gold's down. When gold's down, and when the stock market's down, gold's up. It's really been strange for this last. I sold
it has?
7.5 ounces the other day, and or when it was 20 or 2,000, and boy, it's been downhill ever since. I don't get it.
Yeah, the precious market prices right now. Gold is at 1753, silver's at 1925, platinum's 886, and rhodium's at 14500. All the markets are up right now. Even crude oil is up to 95.55. It's creeping back up. So all things are up right now. Uh, Alan Trees, the inventor of the gold grabber. Are you please still producing the gold grabbers or not? Thanks. Dennis Rick says.
Jack, I'm not. I'm not building anything because of the no competition clause. So at this point, no.
Yeah, Dennis, he sold the Go Grabber business years ago and retired.
There
So,
you go.
Mike Duffy, Bannock, Montana. What's that about? I used to have a claim on the backside of Bannock, Montana. I used to stay up there in Dillon and go over to the Bannock area and play around. Back in my greenhorn days, I was greenhorn for a long time. Uh, I can't speak Spanish, so I don't know what that says. He is, but the new owner can't be contacted. Thank you, David, for filling that in. Once no compete clause comes out or goes away, then he's back in business again.
Yeah, he's right. Keep in mind when I'll be 76 years old when that happens. Lucky me.
Hey, I need to build we need to build, I want to build a gold pan. No, here's what I want to do. I don't want a gold pan. I want the rocker. So
Yeah.
I asked this guy to sell me the part of the rocker, and he did it. So you got to help me then design the rocker so I can produce them.
Do you want to? I'll help you design it because it's not patented. So I can show you how. And you want to rotomold them so they're polyethylene, so you don't have to put. Yeah, because they rotomold them for $12 a piece. So
right, but how do you make the mold though? How do you?
That's easy. I build all the molds. We'll go over that one of these days. I make them out of quarter inch plate.
Do you just get like tin and just start hammering it out or something?
No, you take a sheet and you bend the sides up and you cut them out and you weld the tops in and then you saw it in half and it's a 2-piece mold it's just basically an egg tank shaped like a gold grabber rocker, and then you router the top out. It's pretty simple, Jack. I'll walk you through it.
Okay, well, I'm here to build it then.
Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah, and the nice thing about it is I bet you'd sell thousands of them. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't have gasoline and they want to backpack something into the mountains and they can throw it in the water, set it there, and they got a fully operated piece of equipment.
Oh, I agree. And I think with more and more of, like when I've been dry washing, I've been going to the puffer style dry washing because sometimes the price of gas costs more than the gold you're going to get.
Sure.
I'm almost trying to get away from gas. So you need a dredge. I think Keen's come out with a dredge that runs on batteries.
I've seen a little one that they were working on. That battery thing, like I said, I was an electrician for 45 years and I know DC power pretty well. And I got a friend that's mining in Australia and he uses a battery powered because it's illegal there to dredge at all, and he dredges at nighttime with lights, and he uses electric ones so nobody can hear him running. And it's pretty small. You really don't operate a 5-inch dredge with batteries.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, Richard. All the gold that I kept in the bank is now in the wash with all this rain we've been having. Welcome, Thomas. Thomas says hello, Alan. Hi, Alan.
Hi.
Thomas Foltz.
Hi.
Okay, so we that's all the gold you got? What is that little bit right there?
No, I got a little bit more than that, but that's all I can carry at one time.
I saw well, you showed me once upon a time all types of nuggets and everything. Big
I do.
nuggets.
I got some nuggets in the other room. Um, I've got, the ones I found over by the Jumpin' Jack claim over by Quartzsite. I found a real nice 9-grammer there, had some rock in it. And then I found on that GPA claim, I found a 9.5-grammer there. My wife was with me. That was a fun deal. And my wife found her first nugget over there, just right off a 3.5-gram, beautiful nugget. She'd never metal detected in her life, and she found it with her old Fisher Gold Bug.
That's awesome. This is the last of my big piece of gold.
Oh my gosh. Gee, I spill that much just panning.
It's in rock. I know. It's breaking apart. This is going in the wheel of the giveaways. The last of my specimen type gold.
Yeah, I like that gold. I've got some in rocks. That's beautiful.
Did you ever see that piece that I found? It was just a big hunk. And I found it with the gold monster, actually, just in this area, same area, but it went bananas. It was only down probably, I don't know, 6 inches, but it set that gold monster screaming. And I dug it up, and it just looked like a big piece of caliche, a hunk of caliche. And I looked at it, and I thought, and I couldn't see no gold. I said, this is worthless, But I didn't really toss it, and I put it in my pouch, and I get back to the truck, and I put water on it. Oh my God, this whole thing was just lined with gold inside of it.
Wow.
I mean, it was like, so I took it up to Havasu, and the guy did a specific gravity test on it, and he figured there was about 18 grams of gold inside of it, but it wasn't worth anything. It wasn't worth anything because you couldn't really see the gold, So I just put it in acid and broke it all down, and then I gave it all away, all that gold.
So when you broke it down with the acid, did it just crumble into pieces of gold instead of a band of gold?
Yeah, it just came all apart. The big pieces still stuck together, but everything else that wasn't connected. If it was connected, it stayed together. But if it wasn't connected, then it was just all in pieces.
Yeah.
PETG dredge. PETG dredge. That must be the name of a dredge. Yeah. I operate a 2-inch dredge off of batteries made by Goldeye Box of California. A 2-inch. Yeah.
Yeah, you might be able to do a 2-inch, but you're not going to run a 5-inch dredge that takes 7-8 horsepower. No, that's tough.
What size dredge are you using?
I'm using a 5. We're just using 5. Yeah, that's in Idaho. That's the largest you can use legally. You get a $10 permit. You can run a 5-inch. You can run a 6 if you want, but you got to put a restrictor on it.
Yeah.
You can't go to 8 or anything like that. It's more commercial.
Well, I only have a 4-inch triple sloosh.
Oh my God! I don't even want to hear this story. We're gonna may have to do some work for you to kind of fix you up there a little bit.
Hey, well, I had one of them, and there's a friend that he's posting pictures. He's in Colorado dredging, and he's got, I had some grabbers up there when I was in Colorado doing the gold, the dredge camp up there. That's a whole story in itself, but that we won't get into. But I've had them dredges before. Actually, I got one from you. Remember?
I do. You remember you getting one.
And then I had a hard time because that guy was supposed to build me the header frame or the what you
bought
call
parts.
it.
Yeah, you bought
parts. Yeah. And and I couldn't. I had a hard time getting in. The first one he did, it was all screwed up, and so then the weld, it didn't even fit, and so then he redone it for me, and I thought, this guy don't have a clue what the hell he's doing. You said you talked nice about him. I saw him at the gold shows, and I thought, this guy's anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy.
Oh yeah, but he's a nice guy. God bless him.
God bless him. Yeah,
you can
talk
bad about
like that. There's some people out there that just don't have any ambition, and he's a young man. It's sad, but some people are just that way. They get an idea and instead of run with it, they just it's kind of like a dairy farm. if you don't wiggle them fingers every day, you're not making any money. So you got to get out there.
I don't think it was that. I think he's just he just didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Randy, there it is right there, buddy.
What do you got?
An Usyk. I mean, it's a this is a coon pecker.
Never mind. I already know what it is.
Yeah. Randy gave me that last year. It's a coon pecker, but it's like the Usyk, you know.
Well,
you got to kiss it. You got to kiss it for good luck.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah. That's why Randy gets all the gold, because he keeps kissing that Usyk. But
yeah.
what was we just? Oh, we were just talking about that cool buddy of yours. Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. You know, you can talk bad about somebody long as afterwards you just say God bless him. You know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. As long as you say that on the end, that's a good way to say it. You know.
Yeah. So but anyway, so I was sitting there doing my thing and he was doing his thing, and I kept looking at that. He had the panning tub set up and doing the demonstration with the pans, and people would come up and looking at the rockers, and he would just, all he wanted to do was do the pans. It's like, dude, they want to buy a freaking rocker. Why aren't you showing them the rocker rather than how to pan? Who cares about the pan? Sell them the goddamn rocker. You know? And I'm thinking, this guy is an idiot. God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him. Yeah. He just didn't have any good salesman, any skills that way, and he just couldn't do it.
And the funny thing is, so I went over and talked to him one time, and I'm trying to say, well, why don't you just sell some of this? You know what she wants? Here, have a CD. She was passing out CDs because she thought she was a great singer of this Christian.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, his wife does sing. Yeah,
so she was just, all she wanted to do was give people CDs. They weren't trying to sell anything.
I know. Yeah, I know. And it's not my type. I mean, I'm sure she has a good voice. I mean, it sounds a little more like a crow, but she's a nice person.
Yeah. Yeah, God bless.
Don't get me laughing now.
Let's see. Golden Wiener, but it works. Jack is what's it's like when you're home alone. Well, hey, you know what they say? I'm never alone.
Yeah.
I talk to myself all the time.
Well, you know anybody that's got a dog that can find gold? I always, I had a border collie for a long time. I really liked her. She was fantastic. Always went mining with me, but I never, they're smart, but I never could. Well, I tell you what I did. When I first built my house up there on the hill at Seven Devils, I had about 30 ounces of gold in a jar, and coming down to the house that I was building, on each side there was a set of steps, and one to the left and one to the right, about 20 feet, was a little stone. Because I do stone work, a little pedestal with a light, and I buried that jar underneath one of those pedestals. And my border collie, she just watched. Her name was Panda. She just watched me. And then about a year later, after I got my home done, I thought, well, I better get that gold dug up and get it in a safer place. So I went over to the light post on the right and started digging. She's over at the one on the left digging like a wild person, and I'm over there on the right digging, and I can't find this jar. Finally, I started realizing that Panda remembered where it was at, and I didn't remember where it was at. I mean, that's a pretty smart dog.
Well, I got a little Yorkie, and when she was little, or, she's old now, she's like 15 now, but back when she was younger, she used to, if I had gold like in the pan, she'd come over and sniff it, and she would take them gold nuggets out of the pan, like decent size.
Oh,
and
wow.
She liked them. So I thought, well, wow, she's a gold sniffing dog. So I went out in the desert, and what I'd do is I'd bury down in the ground a big gold nugget, and then I would put a treat on top of the gold nugget and bury it. And I'd have her sniff around, and then she would smell the treat and dig it up. And then I kept making the treat smaller and smaller and smaller,
That's
thinking
cool.
thinking she would find the gold, because gold does have a sweet smell to it, you know. And
I know minerals do. Yeah, right.
yeah, and so, but it didn't work. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I got a friend here in Reagan's that's got a dog all the time with him, and people take him into everything. They take him into bars, they take him into restaurants, and he'd always take this dog with him everywhere. Well, he goes into the bar carrying this dog, and there's a sign out there in front, because we got a lot of sheep herders and stuff around here. It says no dogs. So he's got his dog, and he takes it in there, and they tell him he's got to get out because he can't be drinking in here and have a dog. So he's carrying the dog out the door, and here comes a guy in with a dog, and he says, "Hey," he says, "you can't have your dog in here." And the bartender goes over and sits down. The bartender looks at him and says, "You can't have a dog in here." He says, "Well, I'm blind. This is a CNI dog." And he says, "Well," he says, "a CNI dog." He said, "Yeah." And he said, "Okay." So he comes out the door, and he's carrying his dog. And the other guy said, "How'd you get in there?" And he said, "Well, I just told him it was a CNI dog." So he goes in here with his dog, leading it in there, a big sheep dog, sets it down, and he sits there and he puts it on the bar stool. And the bartender said, "Didn't I just tell you to get out of here? You can't have a dog." And he said, "Well, that's a CNI dog." And he said, "A Mexican Chihuahua?" And he says, "What? They gave me a Chihuahua?" Never mind. That was a bad one.
Hey, that's almost as you were talking about singing. That's almost as bad as like Ray Charles. You know, have you ever seen Ray Charles's piano?
I have. Fantastic.
You have?
Yeah.
You've seen his piano?
I
know I know he never has.
I've seen him play it. I've never seen him. Yeah, remember the CNI dog? That always works.
Stick with the CNI dog, not Ray Charles's piano.
Yeah.
Oh crap! Shit. Seven Devils is in what state?
Seven Devils is in Idaho. It's over by Reagan's, Idaho County.
Yeah, I remember when I first came to you and I'm following my GPS and I couldn't find you. Finally, I looked up and I said, "Well, I guess it's that house that's clear up there on the hill."
Yeah. I was right on top of a mountain, had 68 acres. Wow.
Yeah, that was gorgeous way up there. Did that guy get the house too?
No, he lives in Grangeville, and we sold the house separate and then moved down here and built this home on the Salmon River. So we're right here, and it's just me and Susie, and we love it. She's a fantastic person. She works hard to. When we got married 10 years ago, I was doing everything, hiring the guys, filling out the pro forma documents for overseas, answering all the emails. I was working 18 hours a day, and she took over the business end of it. And that let me be out in the field with the guys working, and she did a fantastic job. She really feel blessed that I had somebody there that was smarter than me.
Do you? I was just laughing. David says, he says, oh, I got to put this on the screen. He says, a three-legged dog walks into a saloon and says, "I'm looking for the man that shot my paw."
Jeez. That's pretty good. That's almost as good as the CNI dog. Yeah, that was good.
Oh my God, we're gonna turn. It takes two. We're gonna turn this into the joke fest. Gold show joke fest. Oh, that's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah, we were doing some shows up here with Fred Hurt, Dakota Fred last year, and we got into some pretty good. He's from like Louisiana originally, I think, and he's pretty good with jokes. He's pretty good, pretty funny guy. He's nothing like what you see on TV. Nothing.
No.
Different person. A lot of fun. Very personal type guy, just like us, and a lot of fun.
Yeah, I talked to him one time. I don't know why he reached out to me, but he wanted to come out here and do some dry washing during the off season to dry wash, and asked if I'd take him out and stuff, and I said sure. And then he said okay, he'd planned that, and then I was contacted. That was before COVID hit, and then when COVID hit, he said he wasn't going to go anyplace. So
Yeah.
that never materialized. But
Yeah.
Matt Hotspur is in Reagan's right now. He is the gold geologist.
Yeah, he came by the other day. He's dredging down by Twin Bridges. Yeah, we talked to him a couple times.
What about that river behind you? Doesn't they have salmon and gold in that river?
You know, the little salmon right in front of the house here is totally barren. The geology on this river is just not right. Until you get to the main salmon, there just isn't any gold on it. I've tested it. I mean, salmon come up here, steelhead come up here. It's full of trout, but not full of gold.
Huh? No gold.
Yeah, that's sad. Yeah.
It's sad because it'd be right in your backyard.
Yeah, there would be. In fact, I'd be in my backyard.
Yeah, you could just throw a fishing pole out in the backyard and just check it every morning and reel it in. Yeah. Let's see. TV and real life is completely different. That is very true.
Very true.
A lot of people have a TV persona that's different in real life.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. We got anything more to talk about on gold stuff? Anybody want to ask a question about gold stuff? Not
Yeah,
no
they
more
might.
dogs.
If they want to ask me any questions or anything, I'll be glad to answer them. This phone in about 6 minutes is going to be running out of power. So is that going to mess you up, Jack?
Yeah, we're going to start wrapping things up here.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If anybody's got any final questions that they want to say. All right. So I've got storms going to come in on me too. So before I lose power here myself or go underwater. All right. Alan, let me ask you one final question. Anybody that's just starting out in the you've been around for many, many years. You're like 89 years old, and you've been around for a long time.
Almost.
So, you got a couple years on me, actually. Anybody starting out in this type of a hobby, what's probably the best piece of advice you would give them?
You know, one of the things people say to me all the time, they're saying, how successful I've been at mining and finding lots of gold, and because they read a lot of my articles and books and stuff. And, I always tell them I've had a lot of very, very good days, and I've had a lot of very, very bad days. And the reason I say that is you never want to get discouraged. You get you a good gold pan, get you a shovel, and always look for gold where it was already found. You've heard that a million times. And see if it's something you enjoy. If you like desert hunting, you want to definitely get you a metal detector, have somebody like you train them how to use it. You got to start somewhere. But, I've had to burn out a lot of people because they were expecting to find 2 ounces a day, and they found 3 specks a day. So I just tell them, don't get disappointed. Have your expectations very low and be very happy if you find anything at all.
And that's very true. A couple parting questions. David wants to know, what's the deepest gold you ever recovered? What's the deepest gold you recovered?
Deepest water?
I guess,
when I was in Georgetown, Guyana, mining for diamonds and gold, I was down 28 feet, and that's just about all I've ever done.
And Jason says, what is your favorite place to go to?
Go mining at?
Yeah.
If it's in the summertime, Idaho is fantastic gold. If it's in the wintertime, I'm down there in Arizona with you.
I remember one time I had some claims on the North Fork of the Boise River.
Yeah.
Up there, up above Idaho City. I think it was Edna Creek was up there, and I forget what other creek, but so we the Boise River, the North Fork of the Boise River. I mean, when we were there, it's kind of lower, but still, that's kind of a little raging water. And across there was this bedrock coming down. I told this guy I was with, I said, I bet you there's nuggets over there. He said, but you can't get over there. I said, sure I can. So he said, the water's going to take you away. I said, you just got to be careful. So I get me a pan and a scoop, and I slowly start out there 1 foot at a time, And I get all the way over there, and he's laughing at me, and I'm scraping down this bedrock and panning it. I didn't get nothing. I did like 4 or 5 pans, and all of a sudden I found this big freaking nugget. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're shitting me!" Then all of a sudden he starts coming across this place here, and I found 3 of them over there before he got there, and then he found 1, and that's all that we could find over there. But those were decent size.
Yeah, no, we're Edna Creek. I killed an elk on Edna Creek. Yeah, Edna Creek's got gold too, right where it flows into the North Fork there.
Yeah, but the main things we did was on the North Fork. You can't dredge up there, and then I heard they took a dam out someplace where the ranger station was, where the campground is, and they took the old road out right there.
Yeah, that's the old the old powerhouse dam. They took it out because basically it was crumbling apart anyway, so they were trying to clean that up.
But yeah, so we did fairly good up there. All right. Well, let me see. Where's my ending screen at right here? I got to find where that is. That shows the end is right here. All right, Alan. Appreciate you taking some time and hanging with us. And we'll be in touch, and we'll see you this winter down here in Arizona.
All right, Jack. You take care of yourself. Thank you, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Alan.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I want to thank Alan for hanging with us this evening. He's a wealth of knowledge, and you guys can get a hold of him. He's on Facebook and all of that too, so you can get a hold of Alan there. I just saw a couple more comments. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, so let me find this ending thing to end this show with. All right, guys. Want to thank you guys hanging. So you know what they say. If please like, share, subscribe, all that cool type of stuff. And if you're a subscriber to the channel, we appreciate it. If you're not, please subscribe to the channel. Check out the videos. Try to post one every week. But I want to thank you guys for coming out, hang with us another Wednesday. So, hey, till our paths cross again, you guys all take care of yourselves. Thanks for watching, everyone.